This video is going to cover everything that you need to know about SureForms if you're a beginner. This is a SureForms Masterclass. Alright, so let's start off by taking a look at the pricing of SureForms. So there's a free version which is kind of limited, and then there's also a paid version which is the pro version. So this is what we want to focus on because it has a ton of features, as you can see here. So when you land on this page, there's two options. There's the annual and there's a lifetime at the time of this recording. So this could, go away. Who knows? So here you can see these are distinguished by the features. So you'll see here Pro will have everything here on the starter. Plus you can do 10 sites and then you can create forms using AI, Zapier integration, conversational forms, and so on. And then over here on the business, it has even more features like PDF generator, quizzes, surveys, and polls. So you just need to choose which one you want to go with. But if you're a freelancer, I highly recommend you go for the lifetime, and also you choose the business one since it has most of the features. Now, at the time of this recording, some of these are planned, and so you may not find these features at the moment, but I trust this company because these are the makers of Shore members, Shore triggers, and a whole load of other programs. All right, so what we need to do now is once you've purchased this, you want to come over here to your store. So this is where you log in. So once you log in, you just click on the downloads tab, and this is where you're going to get your download and license keys. So if you click here, this will expand, and this is your version of SureForms. Now I have the starter, and here we also have the license keys. Okay, so once you copy your license key, what you need to do now is to head over to your website. Now, I've already gone ahead and installed this, but let me just show you quickly how you install this. So you want to come over here on plugins and then click on add new plugin. So for the first plugin, you want to come over here and search for SureForms. This has 70,000 active installs and it has 20 5-star ratings. On this here, I have active, which means I've already gone ahead and installed it. So this one here does not need a license key. It's free. Next, you want to click on upload and then choose file. So this is where you get to install the one that you've downloaded from the store, which is the pro version. So if you double click on that, it will go ahead and install. Okay, so once everything is done, you enter your license key, and to enter your license key here on SureForms, if you go on settings, the last tab here is the license. So this is where you want to paste your license key. So mine here is activated, and then you have things like your integrations. So you have webhooks and you also have Zapier. Zapier is on the pro plan. So you need to be on the pro plan to use Zapier. Okay. And then we also have spam protection. So this is where you'd enter your license key. For version 2 checkbox, or if you want to use reCAPTCHA, you can just select it and then enter your site key and secret key. Now we also have other options here. So we have this one here, HCAPTCHA and honeypot. So to design your forms, all you have to do is to come over here to forms, and then you want to click on add new form. So this is going to be a brand new form design. You're going to be greeted by these two options. You've got generate with AI, and then you also have build from scratch. So in this example, we're going to build from scratch. So I'm going to come over here. As soon as you create this form, you need to give this title. Okay, so I'm just going to call this Mac test form. We can start adding all our elements. So you can also call them blocks. So if you're a Gutenberg user, you're going to notice that this is going to feel familiar. Okay. So what you want to do is to either click on this plus button here, it does the same thing, or you can come over here and click on this plus button. Now I prefer this one here because it gives me more information that I can work with. So before you start designing your form, you need to have an idea of what sort of form you want to create. So in this case, we're just going to create a basic form, but it's going to start with a heading. So I'm going to click here on heading, and now you can see here, this is my heading. Okay. So I'm just going to call this Mac main heading. Okay. Now, if you want to center this, you can always come over here and center it. Now, there's other blocks as well. Like, for example, if you want to add an image, you can just click on that, and then our image now can be added from the media library. I'm not sure if I have any images. Actually, I do. So I'm going to go ahead and select that and then edit. So now you can see that we have all these elements. It's almost like a mini website that we can go in and customize. Now, if I wanted to add a bit of space above, we have a lot of options here to style our form. So you can see here we have margin top. So let's say I break this chain and I choose pixels or percent. I could say 2%, or maybe even add this a bit more just to give this heading a bit of breathing space. So let's go with 4. So we're going to go with 4, and then back on our form now, I can continue on and start designing this. So the first thing I'm going to need is this text area. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. With that selected, I can add more information. I can click here on the email. I can also go in and choose more fields. So let's say I choose a checkbox. I can go in and also choose, let's say, the star rating, and I can also add the slider. Okay, so you're going to see how I'm going to customize this. So literally, you can use SureForms to create any type of form. You just have to be creative about it. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to start off with the slider. Now, since we have a pair of shoes here, we are going to ask the user to choose the shoe size. Okay, so I'm just going to click here and drag it. So this is also drag and drop, which is really cool. So now let's customize this. So the first thing I'm going to do is to add my values. So I'm going to start here with shoe size. So we're going to say shoe size. Now notice that this is being entered on the left. So I can say shoe size. On the right label, I'm going to say shoe size maximum. And then on the values, I'm going to say the biggest value is going to be 12. And then here, I am going to set this from size 2, and the increments are going to be 1. And then here, can you see it says slider? Now, we don't want that. So we can go in and just change this and say shoe size. And as you can see, we have some spacing issues. So I want to go back to my image here. And the cool thing about this is you can go in at any point and readjust this. So I'm just adding my margin to the bottom. So I'm going to set this to about 6. Okay, so we have our shoe size here, and then text area. In fact, we don't need this. It's a good thing that I can go in and delete this, so you can see how we can delete things. So if you want to delete, you can just click on the 3 little dots and then delete it like that. Okay, next we are going to need a few things. So let's say we want some check boxes. I am going to add 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's just pretend that this is the color of the shoe, and this one here is going to be white color. So now we've given them the colors to choose. So as you can see, it is very, very easy to go in and add any information you may need here. Again, if I want to move this, I can just come over here, drag it, and then just place it wherever I want to place it. And again, I'm going to click in here. So make sure you click inside if you want to make sure that you select the item that you want to move. Okay. So now we have our slider, we have our colors, we have our email. Now, if I click in here, there's also other options that we can add in here. So we can make sure that this is required, which is a good thing. If you want, you can enable email confirmation. That means they can enter it twice to confirm the email. That may be a good thing depending on your use case, but I'm going to leave it as it is like that. Next, let's say I want to add a delivery time. I can just click on time picker, and then I can say required. And then in here, I can just go in and just say delivery time. Okay, like that. Right, so you can see this is really taking shape, and this is in relation to our main design here. So perhaps maybe I can just call this Mac new shoe or something. Right, so for now I can hit publish, and already I can visit my form by clicking here, and notice that I have a specific page with all my information that I've just created. I mean, this is really cool. If you want, you can just go ahead and send this to whoever you want to send it to if they need to fill in the form. I mean, this is very, very easy to create, as you can see. Now, you may be thinking, well, can't I make this a bit wider? Well, there are settings where you can go in and make it wider, which is really cool. So as you can see here, I can go in, select my color, my email, I can enter my email, and I can also rate by clicking on it. And then for the delivery time, I can choose the delivery time and then hit submit. All right. So now that we've seen how we can put our form together, let's now go in and take a look at other features. So over here, you can see we have form confirmation. Now, this is very important because you want to make sure that you get people to move to a separate page after they've hit submit. So there's several options here. They have a success message. So you can set a message here, which will pretty much say whatever you want. You want to say, thank you for ordering the shoe. It's going to be delivered by such and such a date, blah, 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 blah. Or you can design a dedicated page, which you can get to by clicking over here on redirect. So if you have a page that's on your website that you want to redirect to, this is where you'd click on this drop down and choose the page. For example, I can choose sample page, but if it's an external URL, you can always come over here and paste the external URL. Excellent. Now, when you're on this interface, you want to look at your left because this is where you can further customize this. So you have your email notification. So here is where you want to go in and fill in the information to get notified when someone sends you an email. So this is where you'd have admin email notification. This is by default. Okay, so you can just leave it as it is, or you can just go in and set it to whatever name you want. Now, send to email. This is the admin email, but if you have a different email apart from the one you're using on your website, this is where you can go in and enter your email. Okay, for the subject, it just says new form submission. I can just change this to new order, and that would work fine, or new inquiry. So pretty much that's it. And then you also have your compliance settings, so you can enable GDPR. Okay, and I like the fact that this is by default in the plugin, and then you can automatically delete entries after a specific period and so on. And then finally, we have our integrations. So if you want to pass the data from SureTriggers to another product or another service, this is where you can connect with SureTriggers. Now, SureTriggers is really cool because you can start for free. So let's just go in and I'll show you SureTriggers. Now, it can connect to so many services. In fact, there's a video I did where I show you how to connect things. Like in the previous video, I connected my YouTube channel to my email platform. So here you can see there's a lot that you can connect. We have SaaS integration as well, website and service connections, WordPress automation. And when we come over here now, this is the interesting part because this is where you get to see your apps. There is a ton of apps. I mean, it's just endless. I mean, whatever you can think of, chances are you're going to find it here. So this is how it works. In fact, I think I have a dedicated page here for the integrations. So there we go. So these are all the apps, 1,038 apps. Right, so you can click on popular apps and see what they have as popular apps. So you can see SureCart, Sure Members, Active Campaign, Brevo, ClickUp, ConvertKits, Fluent Forms, and so on. So it's a ton of them. Even PayPal. Now you can connect all these. If you want to go to a specific category, you can go to IT operations, and you can see here we have all IT, and this is where you have GitHub, ZipWP, Path, Loop, Delay. I mean, you get the idea. All right, so back over here, this is where you'll connect with SureTriggers. I will leave a link to SureTriggers as well in the video description below, and I will also link you up to a video that I've just done recently. Next, we have your custom CSS. So if you want to go in and add your custom CSS, this is where you'd go in and do that. Okay, so far so good. Next, if you want now to go in and further customize this, you can see here I've got form selected. So this is where you get all your integrations and so on. But we also have these tabs here. So your primary color, which is the blue that you saw. In fact, I'm going to copy the URL here. In fact, before I copy it, you can increase the width size. So I'm going to go with about 680. Okay, so I can copy that and then go to a URL and paste it so I can have an idea of what it looks like. So there you go. You can see this is the blue that I was talking about. So if you want to start making changes to this, you can go in and change your background color. So you can go in here, change the color, or you can go in and add an image. So let's say I want to use this image right here. I can select it and then use banner as image background. Okay, so we're going to do that. So now if I save this, let me see if I can refresh this. Oops. Now we can see we have the image in the background. I mean, it doesn't really look nice, but it's a bit unique. So this is something you can play around with and see how it looks. Okay, but it's pretty cool. But there's also further things that you can do here on the style. You can go in and make further adjustments if you wanted to. So this is your primary color, your text color, and so on. Okay. We also have the advanced tab. So this is where you have your anti-spam settings for this specific form. So this is where you'd go in and add your Google reCAPTCHA if you wanted to. And over here we have the advanced. You can go with your CSS classes. Now this applies to this particular form. But just remember that if you want to make any changes, just make sure you select the actual block. And by default, it's selected here, as you can see. And then this is where you can go further in and customize, whatever you need to customize further. We also have the advanced tab where you can add your conditional logic. So these fields can show if they meet a certain condition. So as you can see, this is really, really powerful if you want to create advanced forms. Now over here on the left, you can add some blocks to your quick action bar. So let's say you're using this multiple times and you want to add a URL, you can just add it like that. So as you're building your site, you can just quickly go in and boom, click on that, and now you have your URL. So I can just call this enter your website. So now that I've selected this, I can now go into my default value and just say http:// just to give them a starting point. Okay, and then here you can also add your help text if you wanted to. So I can just say website. Okay, and you can see it's been added above here. So as you can see, this is really, really easy to use. You can set it as required and then you can hit save. Right, so now that I have all this set, the question now is, if this is this the only way that we can show our form? Well, the answer to that is no, because there's several ways that we can show this form, and I'll show you in a moment. So let's go back to our form, and what I want to do here is to remove that background image. So click on instant form, and then you can just delete it from here. And then once deleted, you save it. All right, so you can show the title or disable title if you want to. And there's also a preview option where you can just have a quick look at the design like that. Okay. So like I said, there's several ways you can go in and customize this. So for now, I'm just going to hit save. So let's say I want to add this to my website. I'm just going to click on the logo here. So with the logo selected, you can see now that my form is right here. And when I hover over the shortcode, this is going to give me the opportunity to copy this. So you can add this shortcode pretty much on any page builder and the form will show. So let's head over now to a new page. So I'm going to come over here to pages, add new page, and I'll show you how to add the shortcode. So with the new page selected, I'm just going to go in and select shortcode. I'm going to paste it in here, publish, and then I'm going to view the page. There we go. So you can see now that I have my title here and the form is showing. Now you can further style this if you wanted to, especially if you're using a page builder. So let's say I go to edit page. I can start off by adding a container like that. And then in this container here, I can now go in and be more specific. So let me make sure that I drag the shortcode into the container like that. All right, so now with this container selected, I can now start adding my padding onto it. So I'm going to come over here to style, spacing. So my padding here can be, let's say 6. I can give this a background. So I can go in here and go to my color. So the color I need here is just something very subtle. Hit save. Now let's take a quick look. There we go. So now I can see that my form is within this boundary. And everything works okay. You can see now. And I like the fact that when you click over here, it has this outline to show you where you are. And then here for our shoe size, you can see we can go in and select up to size 12. So highly customizable and very, very powerful form builder. So if you have any more questions regarding how to use the form builder, please let me know and I'll do. So if you have any questions on how to use the form builder, please let me know so I can create more tutorials for you. I will leave a link to SureForms in the video description below so you can go ahead and check it out. Until next time, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.